Okay, so this one has a cylinder that's got a, a hole cut through the center of it. So basically they cut a cylinder out of the inside of the cylinder. And they said, well, what is the weight if the steel is 0.2835 pounds per cubic inch and the inner cylinder is hollow? And then they give us various dimensions. And this one I have the length of it being 5 3/4 inches. The whole distance across this circle is 4 inches, but the diameter of the inner circle, this particular circle right here, is 1 3/4 inches. So what we need to do, there's 3 steps to this. We're going to find the whole cylinder volume, this whole thing, as if there was no center drilled out of it, as if it was all solid. We're going to find that volume, and we're going to multiply it by the weight number that they gave us. And then we're going to find what's the center part, the hollow part. If that was filled in, how much would just that part weigh? And so we would find the volume of that cylinder and take it times the weight. And then we'll subtract this hollowed out part from the whole weight part. So to do the volume of a cylinder, there's 2 different formulas on our formula sheet. One of them you can use if you know the radius, or you can figure out the radius. It would be pi times the radius squared times height. The other one would be, if you know the diameter, 1/4 times pi times the diameter squared times height. Now, it really doesn't matter which one of those you use. If you know the diameter, you can always cut it in half, and that would be the radius. So you could, use either one that you want. I'll show you where I found those on our formula sheet. Here we have the cylinder information, and down here it says for the volume of a cylinder, and that's the formulas that I just showed you. So what we're going to do then is, here we have the diameter of the main cylinder is 4 inches. And so if I use this particular formula, because I know the diameter, it's going to be 1/4 times pi. And I don't remember in the question when it asked you the question if it told you whether to use the pi key on your calculator or the 3.14. I'm going to go ahead and use the pi key. It will change the answer a little bit, so if they told you to use 3.14, make sure you use that. But my diameter was 4, so we're going to say 4 squared. And then the height is the same as the length, this whole length, so it's 5 3/4 times 5 3/4. And we can just put this straight into the calculator. I'll have you watch me do this. It's going to be 1/4, so I'm going to do 1 fraction line 4 times pi, and right up here is my pi symbol on this particular calculator, and then times the diameter, which is 4, and I want to square it, so that's this key right here, squared. So see how it's coming in there so far? And then times 5 3/4, so times, and again my fraction key is going to be used, 5 fraction line 3 fraction line 4. That's 5 3/4. And I can just hit enter, and that's going to give me the volume. So the volume is 72.2566310 and I want to take that times my weight conversion here. I want to take it times 0.2835. So I'm going to say times 0.283, oops, delete, 35, there we go. And hit enter. And so we now know that the weight of the solid cylinder without a hole drilled out of it is 20.48. Let's go to 4 decimal places. So we'll do 4848 on that decimal, 20.4848. Now I need to find the volume of this inner cylinder the same way. So I'm going to take 1/4 times pi, and the diameter of that one I said was 1 3/4 inches, and so I got to square that, and then take it times the height again, or the length is the same, 5 3/4. Now I will tell you, I think when I put this fraction in, I'm going to put parentheses around it just to make sure the calculator handles that the right way. So let's see here. Hit clear. Okay, we have 1 fraction line 1/4 times pi times, I'm going to put in parentheses 1 fraction 3 fraction 4. I'm going to close that parenthesis and then square it so it shows that that whole fraction is getting squared. And then times 5 fraction 3 fraction 4. And I'll push enter. So there's the weight, or excuse me, there's the volume of that center piece, but we need to take it times the weight, which is times the 0.2835. And now that'll give us the weight of that center part. And I'm going to round that off to 3 places, or excuse me, 4 places like I did the other one. So that's 3.9, let's see, 9209. Okay, so we did the first 2 steps. We found the volume of the whole cylinder, we found the volume of the center part cylinder, and now we're going to subtract those 2 answers because we need to remove that hollowed out part from the original whole cylinder. So we'll do 20.4848 minus 3.9209. And so this weight should be 16.5639. Pounds. So now again, if they told you to round to the 10th place, then you would want to be careful that you rounded it like that, whatever it told you to do. And again, if they told you to use 3.14 instead of the pi symbol, your answer is going to be a little different. So be careful of those details.